starting in our child's pose, you might decide to take a block under the chest and another block under the head. That's just going to give you, just, of course, more support. Allowing you to maybe just allow yourself to get heavy, to drop in. And for good measure, let's all take 3 cleansing breaths. In through the nose, out with the sigh. And yeah, you can make it dramatic. In through the nose. Let it go. One more. And then come to a natural breath in and out of the nose. So tomorrow is a new moon. And y'all know I love moon days. So I've been thinking a lot about manifestation and what it is, what it looks like to manifest things in our lives. Whether that is something tangible, like, I don't know, maybe a new apartment, a new safe or joyful place to live. But that could also look like more joy, manifesting a sense of abundance, manifesting more people that feel and exude love. And of course, we all know the phrase that we are what we think, but I mean, it can, to the point where it can even be a cliche these days. But that doesn't mean that we all live by that motto, because thinking positively, especially in a world that is surrounded by a lot of negativity and hatred and greed and fear, thinking positively takes practice and it takes focus. And so we're going to work tonight on that mission. Before I share any more, go ahead and ease your way out of this child's pose into a melting heart pose, sliding forward with the chest on the ground, arms forward, chin to the earth, gazing forward. If that's too much, bring that block back under your chest or a pillow under your chest. And you can place another block or pillow under your forehead and find melting heart that way. Your hips are going to be directly above the knees. You're going to feel some compression into those shoulders. So breathe in that space. Allow each breath cycle to bring a new sense of ease and release. Excuse me. So, because you can see something with your mind's eye, like a thought, an idea, a dream, your ideal person, partner, because you can see it, it's already there. So if you see a life that's filled and surrounded by joy, love, abundance, and sunshine, then that's the life that you will experience. If, on the other hand, you see a life of doom and gloom, sadness and rainstorms, then that's the life that you will experience. Keep breathing. You're the creator of your own universe. So be careful with where your mind goes. So before you transition into this next posture, I want you to bring something to mind that just makes you feel at peace and ease. And then take a big breath in. Use the exhale to drop all the way down to your belly. Stack one palm over the other. Rest the forehead on the palms. Crocodile pose. Toes turned in, heels turned out. Relax through the feet. Relax the calves and the thighs and the buttocks. Relax from the sacrum all the way up to the cervical vertebrae. Relax the muscles surrounding the spine. Relax the shoulders and the arms and the hands. Relax the face and the crown of the head. And rock the hips side to side, keeping the knees straight, keeping everything else relaxed as you just let the hips sway. Feeling that subtle, gentle massage that it creates on the low back. Maybe noticing as the sway through the hips actually creates a sensation all the way up the spine. Good. And then bring hands on the outside of the mat, fingertips pointing out. On the inhale, lift up from the back of the heart. Let the head follow. Cobra flows. Exhale, release the heart first. Head touch the mat. Follow your breath. Remember that you'll go deeper into a back bend the closer your hands are to your body. As you rise, you may play with letting your head drop all the way back, opening through the front of the neck. Next time you rise up, hold Cobra. Notice that the low back feels supported. So you're not overarching. If you feel that, walk your hands a little bit away from the body. Breathe in and out through the nose. Feel the ribs expand. Allowing air to fill in from the bottom all the way to the top of both lungs. Just 2 more breaths here. Stay soft everywhere that you don't need to hold this posture. Take another breath in. Hold it at the top. Sip in a little bit more air. When you can't hold it any longer, let it go with the sigh. Slowly drop the body down. Rest one cheek to the mat. Bend the knees and windshield wiper the feet side to side. And as you do that, come back to that image that makes you just feel good. It might be an experience. It might be something that you're dreaming of. Maybe a business plan. Maybe a loved one. Just notice what happens when you bring your mind, your thoughts, to that image that makes you feel good, to that image that makes you happy and joyful. Release your feet down. And we'll find one more Cobra. This time you can bring your hands under the shoulders if you like for a little bit more. Lifting up, but keep the elbows slightly bent. And so this one, you're going to feel it a little bit in around the triceps and biceps. Tie the elbows in towards each other. Think about opening through the heart and guiding the shoulder blades down the back, away from the ears. Take 3 breaths here. You can choose to let the head rock side to side if you like. Good, and then take a big breath in. Let it go with the sigh. Release from the posture, opposite cheek to the mat. Bend the knees and sway the feet side to side. So I ask you tonight, what is it that you're currently manifesting in your life? Is this something that is of conscious effort on your part? And is it really, truly what you want from this one life that you're given? Sit with that as we transition into the next posture. Grab your block or your pillow, placing it under your head, opening through the front delt, extending the right arm to the side so that the right palm is face down. Start to roll over to the right side. That left hand can stay in front of you for balance, or you can start to wrap the left hand around. You can bring the sole of the left foot on the ground, knee facing up, or you can keep both knees bent, both legs stacked. That's going to bring you not so deep into the posture. So just finding your edge, and we're not going to stay here as long as we usually would. Let's just take 3 more breaths where we are. And inhale back to the belly. And set yourself up on the other side. Left cheek to the block, left palm on the ground. And begin to turn towards the left side. And being gentle with yourself. Speaking to yourself in a space of loving kindness and compassion. Not forcing yourself into a depth that your body's not ready for. And rather maybe finding a sense of gratitude for being on your mat at all. A sense of gratitude towards your body for being able to do any of these postures. There's always a way that we can flip our perspective to a more positive tone, to bring a more lighthearted sensation to our body. Just 2 more breaths. Good. Inhale, ease your way out. Rest the forehead on the ground, both palms by your side. And so we already warmed up with some cobras. We're going to come into a little, oh gosh, what is this one? Locust pose. Yes, locust pose. We're going to lift up the chest and the head, keeping the gaze down, lifting the arms up. Tie the shoulder blades together. And so this one's going to be really good for the posture. You can think about pushing your palms up into the ceiling. Breathe in through the belly. Notice as each inhale allows you to grow just a little bit higher. And each exhale might bring you down just a little bit closer to the earth. Just 2 more breaths. You might choose to clasp the hands behind you. Good. Release. Once again, forehead to the ground. Bring hands underneath the shoulders. Come up into a tabletop position. We'll find just a few rounds of cat-cow, but before we do, we're going to open through our wrists. And so bring just the right hand, flip it to the opposite direction. See if you can keep the fingers tied together, and so that your right fingertips are pointing towards the right knee. Your left hand is facing forward. What we're going to do is just start to draw some small circles. One direction. So if y'all remember from our chakra series, when we find flexibility through our wrists and forearms, really throughout our arms and our hands, we find more balance in our heart chakra. That space that allows us to be more open for connection and love. So we'll pause here in the center and then find slow circles in the other direction. I learned this one in a class recently in a yoga studio that I'm going to. In my attempt to find community, I'm taking yoga in a class maybe once a week. And we all wear our masks, of course. Oh, but it feels just so good to be with people. To feel like I'm actually a part of a group. Come back to the center. Lift the right hand up. Tie it in a fist. Pull the elbow up. And then on the exhale, release the fist. Release the right hand down to the ground. Good job. We'll do that same thing on the other side. So see if you can tie the fingers together of the left hand. And then find some slow circles. And your wrist forearms might not be so open that you can bring your palm flat to the ground. That's fine. Of course, just find a position here that makes the most sense to you. And if with your fingers together, that's too much, then allow them to have a little space. These classes are only me guiding you. Ultimately, you are your own teacher. You know exactly what you need in any given moment. Pause in the center. Rotate in the other direction. So I ask you again, what are you manifesting in your life? Is that a conscious effort on your part? And is that truly what you want? Pause in the center. Lift the elbow up, pull into a fist. On the exhale, release. Good. Now, You can choose to take cat-cows with your fingertips forward, or you might flip both palms around and take cat-cow like that. Just a different variation. And if you're choosing that option, you might just notice the difference. For me, I notice when I do it like this, honestly, I don't feel it as much in my spine. I think I can't get as much depth in my roundedness as I do when my fingers are forward. But it's nice to stretch through the front of the forearms. Especially after being on my computer all day long. Good. Tuck the toes under, sit back onto your heels, flick the fingers. Of course, you can put a block on top of the heels to give you a little bit more height if that's too much on the soles of the feet. And then release the hands down to the lap. Close the eyes and just turn in. Just breathe and be for a moment. So if your first response to the question, what are you currently manifesting, is I don't know, or if the second two responses are no, what I'm manifesting is not conscious effort, no, it's not exactly what I want, then I recommend you taking this next moon cycle to be an opportunity to grow more of what you do want. So that can start tonight. Go ahead and release forward. Tap the tops of the feet to the mat. Starting tonight by setting your intention so that you can wake up tomorrow on this new moon with what you want at the front and center of your mind. Tuck your toes again, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. If down dog is not in your practice, it makes you dizzy or doesn't feel good to you, then just stay in the tabletop position. If you're with me, bend one knee, straighten the other, and rock the hips side to side. You might even see what happens when you sink your hips towards that bent knee. And breathe into that opposite side body. On the other side. Good, and then come back to your down dog. Take a big breath in through the nose. On the exhale, let it go with the lion's breath. 2 more times. Last round, pushing any stale energy out of the body. Inhale. Exhale, walk the hands back towards the feet. Spread the feet as wide as the mat. Lift up so that the elbows are above the knees on the thighs. And lift up to find a straight back. So think about tying the shoulder blades together. Gaze down to lengthen the back of the neck. So this is like a modification of halfway rise. So a gentler version. Think about lifting the hips up towards the sky as you guide the crown of your head towards the front of the room. And then take a breath in. Exhale, round forward. Bend the knees deeply to find release from the low back. Nod the head, yes. Yes, I can think positively. Yes, I can find joy and peace and abundance and love and connection and community, all the good things. And then shake your head no. No, I will not manifest what I do not want. And then release. Bend your knees even deeper. Round up one vertebrae at a time. Keep the head heavy. Let the shoulders and the head rise up flat. When you get there, lift the shoulders up and back. So rotating through the shoulders. Good. And find your mountain pose. Feet are going to be under the hips and slightly pigeon-toed. And then lift the toes up and spread them apart as if you have webbed feet. Look down at your toes. Here's a game we're going to play. I want you to try to release your toes down one at a time, starting with the pinky toe. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is going to help you find more balance over time. So keep practicing that one. Now close your eyes. Palms forward, heart open. Bring your awareness back to your feet. On your inhale, breathe in from the earth. Allow that energy to rise through your feet all the way up the legs, up into the heart, up into the face, all the way to the crown of the head, and pause at the top. And on the exhale, let it go top to bottom. Do that 2 more times. And then bring your hands to your heart. Maybe a subtle smile comes to your face. What do you see? What do you wish for? Is it good health for a loved one? Financial success? A sense of abundance and freedom in your work? A world that is free of fear and guilt and full of love and connection. What do you wish for? Imagine it resting right in between your palms. You can feel it. It's a part of every atom of your body. You can smell it and taste it and see it. It's right there. In the remainder of this practice, I invite you to continue breathing that intention into your whole being. Trusting that because you can see it, it really is already there. It's right in front of you, right at your reach. Bring your hands back by your side. Open the eyes. And walk the feet out so that the toes are pointing outwards. And we'll sit down into a squat. For some of us, that's going to be too much on the knees. And so I ask that you bring a block or two under the tailbone. Maybe a pillow. And then we'll bring the hands back to the heart, the triceps on the inside of the knees. Think about pushing the knees in towards the triceps as you simultaneously push the triceps back into the knees. And then let the head drop down. Bring the fingertips to the third eye. That space of intuitive wisdom. That space where you can see with your spirit rather than with your body. That space where you just know. You know what is right. You know what to do. Tap into that frequency. That power that is within you. Right, and then release down to the seat. We'll come into fire log pose. So opening through the hips by stacking the right ankle over the left knee. Left foot is going to be aiming to be under the right knee. Now for some of us, we're like, ain't getting there. That's the case. Cross-legged, right leg in front of the left leg. Just a normal cross-legged position. You can even place a blanket or pillow under your buttocks for a little bit of lift. So wherever you are, we're going to place the right hand on the inside of the right thigh, left hand behind you. We're just going to guide the right femur bone front and down. We're not forcing it. We're just giving it just a gentle nudge. So what we're doing as we do that is we're encouraging the leg to release out of the hip socket, which will make it easier to fold forward. So now we lift up tall, hands in front. And we're going to ride a wave before we drop all the way down. So take a big breath in to find length. On the exhale, tuck the chin to the chest, dive under your wave. Inhale to lift back up. So leading with the head. You might just find different directions. And I recommend closing your eyes and allowing the breath to move you. So finding that movement from the inside out. What that means is allowing your intuition, your energy to guide you, rather than your body just to make its habitual movements. Doesn't matter how it looks, only how it feels. Next time you lift up, hold the breath in. Squeeze in the muscles through the pelvic floor. Squeeze navel to spine. Notice how you're almost floating over the earth. Just by that muscular engagement. And then on the exhale, fold forward. Let the head be heavy. Breathe. Come back to your intention. And it can be one thing, it can be multiple things. You could see a whole new lifestyle for yourself. And if you can really see it, and if you trust that that's really what you want, then hold it. If it seems unattainable or maybe like wishful thinking that's not actually coming from you, then choose to alter it. You are in full control of where that mind goes. In full control of what your intention is. Therefore, in full control of that which you manifest. Of the life that you create. Just 3 more breaths. See if you can drop heavier. And then slowly rise up. Extend the legs out in front of you. Hands behind you, and just give your knees a little shake. Windshield wiper the feet side to side, or rotate through the wrists or through the ankles. It's amazing how easy it is to get body parts mixed up. Maybe flex the toes again, spread them apart. And then we'll go on the other side. So check in. If you have a bad knee, maybe this is it, or maybe the other one. So maybe you could do the fire log on one side and not the other. So just play with it. Maybe that ankle can go on top of the knee, but you might need a block to go in between the foot and the knee that's hanging out. So just play around. Situate so that you're right up on your tailbone. Maybe pull the cushion out from either side of the buttocks. And then we'll find some movement. Hands in front of the knees. Big breath in, lift up. Exhale, dive under. Inhale, rise up. Let your breath move you. Next time you rise up out of that water, hold the breath in. Squeeze the pelvic floor, navel to spine. Notice how light you get. Can you sip in a little bit more air? And when it's time to let go, really let it all go. So I've recently started to practice Ashtanga yoga. I've been practicing it for a while, but I've been trying to be more intentional about practicing it regularly. Man, it is such a humbling practice. Some of those postures really seem impossible to get into. And you can't go further until you accomplish the previous part of the sequence. So really, it definitely tests your patience. So that's kind of what I'm looking to manifest in this next month, is to get stronger and delve deeper into my yoga practice, both on and off the mat. Between now and 3 breaths from now, slowly rise up. Extend the legs out. You can do the same thing you did last time, or you can take the hands around the knees and thighs. The padding option. You come on down into the calves and the ankles, maybe the tops of the feet. Love that one. All right, let's see the time. Okay, we have just a few more minutes. I want to get us to stretch through the quads. So we're gonna come into I believe it's called a firebolt pose, where we bring the left foot. We're gonna start with the left foot. Keep the right leg extended. I'll turn this way so y'all can see me. That left foot is gonna be bent. The foot towards the left thigh. Now, if you're one of those people that this is too much on the knees, see about what it feels like on the knee if you just walk the foot out a little bit more from the hip, so it's not so tightly bent. Or maybe you put a blanket or a towel in the crease. And so you can choose to stay here and lift it. Maybe that's enough stretch for you. You can release your hands behind you, kind of like in a hammock pose. And let's all just pause there. Just take a moment to notice where we are, to notice whether we need more. So if you're deciding to take more, you can come back onto the forearms. And when I come back onto the forearms, I notice that I feel it in my low back. And so I like to bend my right knee so that the right foot comes on the ground and the right knee just kind of drops towards the left side. And so we won't be here too long. We'll actually just take about 5 more breaths. The head can be forward, gaze up, or maybe it feels nice to drop the head back, opening through the front of the neck. And either way, go ahead and open the jaw and move it around a little bit. Maybe even make some funny faces. Good, and then inhale to rise up. Extend the leg out, just allow the melting sensation to happen before rushing to the other side. Just notice. And then other side. Side right foot under. Take your time to get situated. And ideally both hips are on the ground. Ideally you're pretty level, so try to get that right hip on the ground as much as possible. And then we'll lean back onto our hands. Just hang out here for a bit. So opening through the fascia, that tissue that surrounds the muscles. And ideally is well, hydrated, you know, has a gel-like substance so that it can move with ease around the muscles. But what happens often when our bodies get to be inflexible, that feeling of tightness, is that this fascia gets dehydrated, and it gets to have like a sticky-like texture. And so when it's sticky like that, it does not move easily with the muscles, and that's when we can often, I don't know, like pop a nerve or a muscle, or just have chronic tightness and inflammation. So if you like, you can drop down a little bit further. Maybe you do the same thing where you drop the head back, wiggle the jaw a little bit. Good. Slowly rise up. Extend the leg forward. Hang out for a moment. And then release all the way onto the back. Hallelujah. We made it. We'll just do a gentle supine twist to either side, hips to the right, knees to the left. Choose your favorite option. Finding that space where you can really rinse clean anything else in your body, your mind that doesn't serve you. Rinsing clean anything that pulls you away from that which you most want. From that thing that you are consciously choosing to manifest, at least for the next moon cycle, if not for your life in the larger picture. It takes work to think and live positively in a surrounding world that does not. It takes effort, and it takes courage, and it takes grace. And each one of us has the ability to see with a lens of love and light. It's a matter of whether we choose to do so or not. Inhale to come back to the center and twist into the other direction. It's a matter of whether we choose to surround ourselves with positive influences, with experiences that bring us fulfillment and ease and love and all the other things that we want in life. It takes work to choose to focus on your own healing and on your own well-being and release. so that you don't carry your stale energy out into the world. It takes practice. But if that practice is what brings an ultimate sense of the good stuff, the practice is worth it. The practice more than pays for itself. It'll come back tenfold to benefit not only your life, but also all those lives that you touch. Hopefully trickling out into the larger world. Into the structures that are based out of fear and greed. Inhale to come back to the center. Hug the knees into the chest and rock side to side. And come back to that intention once again. Just notice, be with that sensation. Trusting that because you can see it, it's already there. And then lift the feet and the hands up. Begin to shake through the feet, shake through the hands, dead bug pose. Let that shake go down into the calves and the thighs and the shoulders and the chest and the belly. And then take a big breath in. And on the release, let everything drop down. Shavasana. Get all the wiggles out. Find a space of complete comfort. Trust that you're supported and drop into this space. Remain still and drop deeper. A poem by Rumi called The Vigil. Don't go to sleep one night. What you most want will come to you then. Warmed by a sun inside, you'll see wonders. Tonight, don't put your head down. Be tough and strength will come. That which adoration adores appears at night. Those asleep may miss it. One night, Moses stayed awake and asked and saw a light in a tree. Then he walked at night for 10 years until finally he saw the whole tree illuminated. Muhammad rode his horse through the night sky. The day is for work. The night is for love. Don't let someone bewitch you. Some people sleep at night, but not lovers. They sit in the dark and talk to God, who told David, "Those who sleep all night, every night, and claim to be connected to us, they lie." Lovers can't sleep when they feel the privacy of the beloved all around them. Someone who's thirsty may sleep for a little while, but he or she will dream of water, a full jar beside a creek, or the spiritual water you get from another person. All night, listen to the conversation. Stay up. This moment is all there is. Death will take it away soon enough. You'll be gone, and this earth will be left without a sweetheart. Nothing but weeds growing inside thorns. I'm through. Read the rest of this poem in the dark tonight. Do I have a head and feet? Shams, so loved by Tabrizians, I close my lips. I wait for you to come and open them. Find gentle movement as you come back to your breath. Roll over to the left side, cradling the head with the arm. And then push yourself up to a seat. Lotus posture. Palms together at heart center, Anjali Mudra. See that intention. Go forward with the remainder of the evening and into tomorrow with that intention at the forefront of your mind. What is it that you most want in this life? See it and believe it. Thank you so much for practicing with me tonight. Namaste. Thank y'all. That's all I got. Sorry, I took you a little bit over since we started.
Thank you so much.
So I hope that was okay for you. Yeah, and I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening, whatever you get into. If you have any comments or questions, you can stick around. I'm here. Otherwise, I'll see you later.